Inclusive education is an approach where all learners, regardless of their abilities, backgrounds, or differences, learn together in the different environment. It ensures that education is accessible, equitable, and responsive to the needs of every student. So it is very important to distinguish inclusive education from other approaches. So first approach we have the segregation, where learners are separated based on their differences. The second approach is the integration, where learners are placed in regular classrooms but expected to adjust. And lastly, we have the inclusion approach, where the system itself adjusts to meet the needs of all learners. Inclusion is not about fitting learners into the system, but it's about transforming the system to fit the learners. So inclusive education aims to promote equal access to quality education, encourage respect for diversity, and build confidence among learners. Its benefit includes improved academic and social outcomes, development of empathy and understanding, and preparation of learners for a diverse society. Because in reality, the world is diverse, so our classroom should reflect that too. Inclusive education also plays a vital role in creating safe and supportive learning environments. We're empowering learners to reach their full potential and breaking barriers and reducing discrimination. As future educators, we are not just teachers, but we are also advocates of inclusion and equality. Every learner or every classroom is composed of learners with different abilities, interests, cultural backgrounds, and learning styles. So recognizing learner diversity means understanding that no two students learn the same way, and that's not a problem. That's a strength. So here we go to the Loden's wheel of diversity. So Loden's wheel of diversity helps us understand diversity in two-way layers. First one is the primary dimension where we can see the age, gender, race, and physical abilities. And the second dimension where education, religion, and income and experiences are reflected. So this reminds us that diversity is not just visible, but is also shaped by personal experiences and identity. Inclusive education is guided by these principles. So number one, we have the equity and equality. Number two, we have respect for diversity. Number three is participation for all learners. And lastly, number four, we have accessibility and support. These principles ensure that no learner is left behind. So despite its importance, inclusive education faces challenges such as lack of resources and materials, limited teacher training, negative attitudes or misconceptions, and large class sizes. These challenges reminds us that inclusion is not easy, but it is necessary. So to build an inclusive environment, we must use differentiated instructions, create a safe and supportive classroom, promote collaboration and respect, continuously learn and adapt as educators. So inclusion begins with awareness, but it is also sustained through action. As I end, let me leave you with this thought. Inclusive education is not just about teaching students with differences, but it is also about teaching all students to value differences. Because at the end of the day, education is not just about knowledge, it is about building a society where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. So, as a future educator, let us not just teach lessons. Let us teach and create classrooms where every learner belongs. That would be all for my part. I will move you to the next reporter. Thank you.
So, good day everyone, and for our next topic, we are going to talk about special education. So, first, what is special education? So, special education is a type of education designed for learners with unique needs or disabilities. So, it uses adapted teaching methods, individualized plans, and supportive environments to help students learn effectively. So, it serves students with conditions like autism spectrum disorder, physical, sensory, learning, or emotional challenges, as well as the gifted learners. So, the goal of special education is to help every student reach their full potential and become independent and actively participate in society. So the next one that we are going to talk about is to how to apply the key principles of inclusive education. So these principles benefits both students and educators. So these principles foster empathy, reduce discrimination, and improve academic outcomes. So they also prepare students for diverse society and promote positive social skills. So the first one is every student has values. So we need to consider, or we need to put this in our minds, that kanang atong students is kanang lahi-lahi jud siya. So we cannot cater all our students or in one way or in a kanang one activity lang. So one of the most important key principles of inclusive education is recognizing that all learners have strength and potential, and each student contributes uniquely to the classroom community. And the next one is the equity over equality. So the key principles of inclusive education emphasizes equity. So this means adapting resources and teaching to meet diverse needs rather than giving every student the same treatment. So we need to treat our students fairly and equally, so that, or kanang even though kanang kuan sila, nasa like special needs, nasa like disability, we need to cater our students all in an kanang equal or fair treatment. So, and the next one is a universal design for learning. So, universal design for learning is a core part of the key principles of inclusive education. So, it encourages flexible teaching strategies to reach all learners, offering multiple ways to access content and demonstrate understanding. So, a universal design for learning DI is kanang magamit siya para makater na to ang mga needs ug ang or mga needs sa atong mga students, even though they are persons with disabilities, or they are persons nga kanang nagneed og special nga treatment inana. So the next one is collaboration among educators and families. So effective inclusion depends on teamwork. So the key principles of inclusive education highlights the importance of collaboration among teachers, families, and students for the best outcome. So when in everything that we do, kay it is very important nga natay collaboration og teamwork sa bisag unsa nga butang, kay kanang mas molaytan man or mas mapagaan man atong trabaho and individually if we are cooperating and we have teamwork as one. So the next one is the focus and strength. So another key part of the key principles of inclusive education is emphasizing students' abilities instead of just their challenges. So this builds confidence and encourage active learning. So we need to highlight, or we need to appreciate each of our students' strengths and weaknesses. So the next one is the continuous professional development. So teachers need ongoing training to apply the key principles of inclusive education successfully. So professional development ensures educators stay informed about best practices and innovative methods. So as time goes by, or as kanang magkadugay ang panahon, we need to cope up, or we need to know what are the latest trends, or what are the kanang unsay mga kanang bag-o nga pamaagi, kay as we all know, lahi nagpangutok ang kanang mga bata karon compared sa sauna. So we need to cope up kanang sa mga latest nga trends or ways sa karon nga panahon. And the next one that we are going to talk about is the nature of special education. So the first one is, it is beneficial for both disabled and gifted learners. So kanang magamit jud siya, kanang mas maka-benefit ang both disabled o gifted learners sa kaninga education, because sila man ang gi-highlight, or sila may mas gitagaan og importance, or kanang sila may gitagag importance sa kaninga education. So the next one is, it provides equal opportunities to all the disabled children. So mura siya kanang no one is left behind, gani nga walay kanang estudyante nga maka-feel nga dili siya included or dili siya appeal ana nga class tungod lang kay dili siya makarelate or dili siya ma-appeal sa kanang activity. So the next one is it provides flexibility in the educational system. And the next one, it is an individualized instruction. Next is it involves systematic and well-planned activities or programs. Next is it is provided according to the level of disability of the children, and it is a child-centered education. So it is very important nga ang atong mga activities or atong mga lessons na ihatag sa atong students is child-centered, kay sila man ang dapat nga maka-learn or sila man ang dapat highlight sa atong mga activity or sa atong mga lessons nga pagabuhaton. Next is it is given by specially trained instructors. And the next one, and the last one is, it can be given in a regular classroom, but sometimes the need of the students can be fulfilled in a regular classroom. So to counter this problem, a research room is made available to provide special education. And the last one that we have, or the last one that we are going to talk about, is the scope of special education. So the scope of special education is wider and ever-changing. Following points cover the scope of special education. So first is various tools and techniques are developed according to the needs of the disabled learners. So mas nindot ang. And the last one that we are going to talk about is the scope of special education. So the scope of special education is wider and ever-changing. So the first one is various tools and techniques are developed according to the needs of the disabled learners. So kanang makasure jud ta nga effective ang special education because kanang it is kanang student centered or kanang mas gifokusan gani niya og unsay wala or unsay need nga dapat nato ihatag sa atong mga students nga disabled or naay mga special needs. So, and the next one is it considered all types of children. So kanang wala siya gipili. It is kanang equally and fairly nga kanang ang pagtrato sa mga students, kanang whether kanang disabled ba ka, gifted, average, creative, or maladjusted. So these are the type of the kanang disabilities that are covered under special education. The first one is autism. Next is mental retardation, attention deficit or hyperactive disorder, hearing impairment, visual impairment, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, and the last one is the dwarfism. So, I think that would be all for my report. I hope you learned something. Thank you.
Gender and development. A perspective on development that is inclusive and empowering while stressing gender inequality and human rights. It claims that women are no longer just victims, but rather play a very important role in development. Therefore, their role is not merely confined to passive participation. Gender and development seeks to achieve the above mentioned by introducing gender equality as a main factor in the decision-making process, thus creating a far sustainable and violence-free atmosphere for development. Here we have SOGI, which means sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. Sexual orientation means a person's enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, and or sexual attraction to other people. And gender identity is a person's innate sense of their gender, chiefly used in contexts where it is contrasted with the sex registered for them at birth. And gender expression is the way in which a person expresses a gender identity, typically through their appearance, dress, and behavior. Here are the gender norms and stereotypes. Societal expectations regarding the behavior of boys and girls are instilled through families, schools, media, culture, and social interactions. This influence their self-esteem and lead to unequal treatment. Because rigid and simplistic ideas about the roles of men and women appear to be a part of life. They can be detrimental as they lessen the options for people. They force people to behave in a way that may not correspond to their true selves, thus resulting in inequality, discrimination, and loss of chances. But at the end of the day, no matter your gender or who you love, we all deserve the same respect, the same rights, and the same chance to be who we truly are.
To.
Si Amaya man ang
Dito mo gikan?
Wala, di ba? Pero naman matog si
Hello
Ava.
everyone, today we are discussing how we can build a better society through two powerful pillars, which is the peace education and inclusive education. So these are not just school subjects, so they are ways of living that help us respect one another and solve problems
Asa man
together.
nakakita si...
So, what is peace education all about? So, ang peace education is the process of teaching people how to live peacefully with others. It promotes non-violence, human rights, and understanding of different cultures so that we can handle conflicts without
Ako?
fighting. So, instead of, for example,
Si Tabi
of
Berli man daw
school
nagtupya
only
to.
punishing students for a disagreement, so they hold
Wala na ng problema, ti, oy.
mediation session where both students talk about their
Naram
feelings
dito.
and find a solution together. Next
Next
is where we're
Oo.
getting involved.
Ay, kanang niwang kay ba?
Peace isn't just something we talk about. So, it's something we do. So, getting involved means
Pinantagay nagsinelfon oy.
Ay, nagtagay. Nagtagay.
Pinantagay.
an active role in
Diyawanan
to
ako, oy.
understand how local and global systems affect our daily lives. So, for example, joining a community cleanup drives or a youth council to address local issues,
Kita ka sagrado? Wala.
monitoring or safety in your neighborhood. So, next is where we're the main ideas and values of peace.
Tanagay ko ni Monta.
So, first is where we're the respect for everyone. So, this is the belief
Nag-what
that
if ka
everyone or every
nag-screen record
person
ko?
deserves dignity no matter what or who they are. For example, a classmate's preferred name and listening to them even if you don't share the same hobbies.
Mao.
Next is the fairness and justice. So this involves fixing unfair treatment and making sure everyone has a chance to be heard. So for example, ensuring that a student who is shy
Pitagana
has
pa
the
na akong
same
video diri, oy.
time to speak during a group project. So as the more vocal students.
So amazing.
Next is where we're solving problems without violence.
Yes, yes.
The students learn to talk things out and solve issues calmly. For example, if two people want the same seat, so they rock, paper, and scissors. Or take turns.
Ay,
instead
kibawan
of
ako ang
winning.
sound ni Nako.
So, next
Tanan ako
is
yung airdrop.
diversity is a good thing.
Do, bayo ko sa mo phone to.
Education teaches us that our differences make us
Yan ako yung
stronger
tanan.
and everyone
Para
deserves
task of time feeling.
Next is
Hari, customer thing.
Haraman